Now, I heard stories about Mr. Khan on Misery, and I heard a bunch of different things. Was there no, when you say no respect, did you guys, did this, like Rob and him and you just have a bad situation back then?
No, it wasn't. There were no fights or anything like that. It's just that Jimmy is the most frantic, energetic, sort of unable to sit still. You know, you're talking to him and his knee is doing that, you know?
Got it.
And for that actor to have to spend 80 pages in bed, he's just the wrong guy to have that job. And he just, you know, I remember he often told me that he would spend a lot of time in the Playboy Mansion.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that he had had sex with 17 straight playmates of the month. You know, this is decades ago.
Yes, of course.
And I said, as a joke, I said, so Jimmy, what month turned you down? I didn't ask for her name. I just said, what month turned you down? And Jimmy says, oh, I can't tell you that. I said, you can't tell me the month?
Not the year. Not the year.
I don't know what year we're talking about. And this was, you know, years earlier. It wasn't like a momentary story. It was a story about when he was hanging out at the Playboy Mansion, you know, years ago. Oh, I can't tell you the month. So anyway, that was, but he's a lovely guy. He's just got way too much energy to be in bed for 80 pages. You know?
It's like trying to strap down Robin Williams for 80 pages, like in a bed.
That's right.
That's
right.
That's just ridiculous.
Well, and in fact, you know, and I write about this in my book, you know, I directed Robin in RV. Yeah. And one of the issues is that Robin and I really liked each other as people, but Robin did not like me directing him because I didn't want his, you know, his jazz, his improv. I wanted a really sort of controlled performance. And Robin is all about improv and joking around and this. And there were too many kids on the set that needed to know when to come in with the next line. And right. They, you know, kids know, okay, my line is after he asked me what my favorite color is, and I'm going to say green. So for Robin to improvise and say, so how old are you? The kid's going, do I say green? Do I say 8? Is that even? So I kept trying to convince Robin this was the wrong movie and there were too many kids for that wild improvisational stuff. And I loved his improvisational stuff, but didn't want it in the movie. And I don't think Robin had a good time. He's good in the movie, but it was tough.
There was I've only met a couple people who have actually met or worked with Robin, and I had the pleasure of meeting Robin once, and I had never met a human being whose energy literally just kind of like vibrated off of him. And when I met him, he wasn't on. He was just
right.
He was just hanging out, not cracking jokes, not looking for attention, not trying to make us smile. He was just a human being with his wife doing his thing. But I had never met a human being. You could literally feel it. Is that something that you felt as well working with him?
Oh yeah, no, it was amazing. Here's some other things. You know, you'd have to have 6 pair of all wardrobe because he sweat so much. He was the hairiest human being I had ever met. You know, every day they would have to cut whatever hair was from here up because it would come out over the top. Right. And yesterday that they had shaved it yesterday. And he would sweat so much that after 4 or 5 takes with all of his energy, you'd say, the wardrobe person would say, we need to change his shirt. And so there would be all these wardrobe people with hair dryers in the distance drying shirts because we only had 6 of everything and he was going through them after every 4 takes. So it was touch and go there. The other thing about Robin is one-on-one with Robin. And again, this is in the book, but one-on-one with Robin was a pleasure. All comedians do 3 things. They collect fountain pens, they collect watches, and they collect cars. Robin was fountain pens, watches, and bicycles. You know, he was a major biker, and he had hundreds of bicycles. But Robin was great one-on-one. I remember being at this restaurant called Chin Chin in Vancouver, which is where we shot RV, and we're sitting there. I'm learning about astronomy and the Kabbalah and about comparative religions. And then the waiter comes over. But so now instead of 2 people, there are 3, and that means showtime. And Robin became a different person. He made fun of the guy's tie. He did this. And years later, I'm back in Vancouver, 13 years later, producing a series of unfortunate events. I go to Chin Chin, and the maitre d' comes in. It's his day off. He comes in. He goes, "Sir, you don't know who I am. My name is Richard. I came in on my day off. 13 years ago, I was your waiter when you had dinner with Robin. And for several years after that, I went to terrible PSTD, as did every other guest who was in the restaurant that night. I saw your name, remembered it so well, I had to come in to see how you were doing, because you had to work with him every day." So that's Robin. But he's incredibly talented. You could give him a stick and say, "Give me an hour," and he'd give you an hour of comedy, pure comedy.
Good stuff. Yeah.
Holding a stick. Yeah.
Yeah. No, he was a remarkable human being, no question.